In the description under each video there is a link to the LGBT dating Telegram channel. Subscribe and find your other half in life.
Thank you, I said as I entered my office. Camilla's POV. You're going where? Dinah asked, sitting beside me. I'm going to a business lunch with her, Dinah, I whispered to her as I typed on the computer keyboard. Dinah looked at me suspiciously. That woman is so private, how did she invite you to lunch? It won't be just me and her, there'll be representatives there. So don't expect me for lunch today. Austin said he wanted to have lunch with you today, remember? The poor guy will think you're bailing on him again. Sometimes I felt bad for him. Austin was a good man, but I wasn't interested in him in that way. But maybe in that moment it was a good idea to get closer to him. That way I would surely avoid future problems with Lauren Yaregui. But something in my body kept me from doing so. She attracted me like a magnet. Tell him that I had no choice, Chi-Chi. I don't want to refuse these things, it's my job. It's your lunch break, Mila. Jesus, Dinah, what's the problem? I used to go to lunch with Richard and you never gave me a hard time. And you knew that he hit on me every day, I said in an altered voice tone. He wasn't a problem, Camilla. This woman is. Have you forgotten that she likes Carla? I hadn't forgotten. I knew that with Lauren I would have to be extra careful not to be discovered. But it was just a business lunch, there was no reason for desperation. It'll be fine, Dinah. I'm handling it. I think you're playing with fire. Trust me, I have nothing with her, she's just my boss. You don't, but what about Carla? From what you told me, she's going to see you tomorrow. Carla is another person, right now I'm Camilla, I said in a low tone. I understood Dinah's concern, she was like my older sister, only younger. Since I've known her, she treats me like her baby, she takes care of me like no one else ever has. I loved it, I felt safe with her. I knew that Dinah was right. Playing this game with Lauren would be the craziest thing ever. But nothing had happened, everything was under control. I would make sure that nothing went wrong, I needed that job. Okay, Chancho, you know what you're doing, just be careful, okay? She said, getting up and giving me a kiss on my forehead. Thank you, Chi-Chi. Shall we go to lunch, ladies? I heard Austin's voice, he was walking towards us. I looked at Dinah, who gave me a look that said, it's your problem, deal with it, and then left. I smiled awkwardly at Austin, who was staring at me with a confused expression. Austin, I won't be able to go. Ms. Yaregui asked me to accompany her to a business lunch, and I couldn't refuse. But our lunch has been scheduled since last week, Camilla, he said calmly. I know, but she just informed me this morning, I couldn't refuse. His expression was one of disappointment. We can go to dinner if you want, I said without even thinking. Austin smiled instantly, relieving the guilt that was consuming me. Really? He asked in doubt, and I nodded smiling. Awesome, we can leave together, yes? Sure, I'll see you later then. Austin nodded, and then came closer to kiss me on my cheek. As soon as he left, I turned around and saw Lauren's intense eyes on me, causing a strong shiver to go through my body. Damn it, she saw everything. The drive to the restaurant was made in pure silence. We were sitting inside her imported car, which by the way looked really expensive, and it was really Lauren's style. She was sitting with her thick legs crossed, reading something in her phone, and I was writing down some things on my notepad, trying to distract myself from the uncomfortable silence in that car. Did you have plans for today, Miss Cabello? I heard her cold voice sound. Nothing important, just lunch with my friends. Friends? She asked, still looking at her phone. Yes, ma'am, I have lunch with them every day. I imagine that they mustn't have liked that I took you away from them, right? I don't think so, I rescheduled for tonight. Lauren didn't speak another word. She was silent, reading something that seemed very interesting since she was focused for so many minutes. When we arrived, the driver, an old man named Alfred, got out of the car to open the door. I got out first, holding her purse, and then she exited the car too, straightening up her formal clothes, which by the way looked beautiful on her body. We entered a big and fancy restaurant, and we sat at one of the reserved tables where the representatives were already waiting for us. The meeting was tranquil and rather boring. Lauren answered every doubt of the men in front of us. She was somewhat tense. They were important representatives who wanted a contract with Yaregui Industry, and she would have to make a general balance sheet of the company's situation until Monday in order to sign the contract. It was a hard task, but not impossible for her. Thank you, Lauren, we'll see you on Monday, the man with gray hair said as he got up. It was nice to meet you too, Ms. Cabello. I nodded with a friendly smile. I hope you accept our proposal, Lauren said, shaking the hand of the other gentleman. I'll give you an answer on Monday, Ms. Yaregui. The two men left, leaving us alone. Finally, I thought this meeting would never end, she said, sitting down on her chair again. It was somewhat tiring. Do you think you can deliver the balance sheets until Monday? I asked as I sat back down too. We can do it, Ms. Cabello. I'm going to need your help with all of this. Let's just say that we are going to spend more time together now. I felt my body shiver. I already spent a good and safe amount of time next to that woman. More of that would be risky and dangerous for me. Is that okay with you? Her voice tone sounded curious. Yes, no problem at all. We'll finish it on time. I hope you don't mind working this weekend. It's really necessary. I really need your help. I can give you a day off next week, if you want. I'll help you. Don't worry, Ms. Yaregui. We'll work hard on it.
Support the channel with a reaction and write a comment under the video. Thank you very much for staying with me on the channel and subscribing.